guys! I finally made it to New York City!
Lady, shut the fuck up!
God, well, anywhere beneath 14th Street.
The fun and the cultural element.
It's like this self-induced schizophrenia.
Well, I just thought you might not like what I've done and want to do something about it.
Sorry, I never know when I'm going to get in trouble.
This is WVFP.
We're probably recording already anyway. Wolf, are we recording already anyway?
Yeah, we are.
I don't look that bad. Welcome to... Oh, that's amazing. I should do this more often then. What am I always doing? Like this? What am I doing all the time?
That's
Holy
nice
shit.
That you can spin.
Does anybody want this off? I want it off. Does anybody want this
what
off?
off?
That. Can we also click
Oh,
off
I
the
love
monitor?
looking at myself.
I know, but I'll just stare at myself.
I know. Oh, bye.
Welcome to WVFP. We have a very special anniversary episode here.
Oh.
With 2 alumni and 2 new people to WVFP, all a big friend group, and we're really happy to have them here today. We have local artist and founder of Frosted Hag Bakery Company, Madeline Bach is here today. Marika, fresh off her Will Shot collage show.
Yeah.
And then the
That's right.
then the drama gallery show you were just in.
Oh, yeah. Little group show moment.
And we're looking forward to the show in Nice, Paris, which is going to open this month, right?
Yeah, well, I actually... Well, we can get into that later.
Marika Thunder, everybody.
Get into that later. Yeah!
The Daily Beast called her a born entertainer and dangerously beautiful.
You did your research.
New York City actress and proprietor of the local ceramics company Mushrooms by Tessa Gourin.
Hello. Hi.
Returning alumni from our first batch of episodes, New York City painter Liv van Kuiken.
Yeah.
Recently in Bomb and in that Riley Davidson article, Kaleidoscope. And you have the chapter show I went to where you were holding flowers in a silver dress, and it was amazing.
We were all there.
We were all there staring at her from afar.
Yeah.
And,
I was up close taking pictures in her face.
She was.
And she has a really big show coming next year in Los Angeles.
Yes,
right?
in February.
Okay. And that place is called
Chateau.
Damn it. I looked at it forever. I was like, is it the same? Is it slightly? Okay, Chateau. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Yay.
All right. The Frosted Hag Bakery Company is a huge success.
Thank you.
You were in the New York Times for that, almost within a year of starting it. They kind of blurbed you.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was kind of exactly a year.
That's very fast for your cake company to have gotten some notice, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then you're also recently in Guterman's Byline project.
Yeah, that was really
a
fun.
really long write-up.
That was a great write-up.
Let's start, take me back before the time of cakes.
Before the time of cake.
Okay. You were a local artist?
Yes.
Living in New York City, going to
I have a BFA.
Yeah.
And I was working in a bakery out of school.
Okay.
So I worked there during school and out of it for 3 years total. And I didn't really have an interest in baking. I just needed a job. And it was more of a counter serving job. And I wasn't doing kitchen stuff necessarily.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah.
All the New York City artists know about the side hustle.
Yeah. But there's always a frosting girl up front.
Okay.
And I always wanted to be her. And so I learned how to frost. And it's vegan frosting, which is not what I use now. So it's a very, very different kind of...
Where you used to work was a vegan place?
Yes.
All right. That's kind of hard to learn to bake that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't really do it that much.
Okay.
But vegan frosting is basically... This one was pretty much all coconut oil. So, it can just decide to collapse into a bucket of oil in front of you.
Ew.
Yeah.
And it's very tricky to use.
Yeah. The frosting girl's no joke there, right? This is not just...
Yeah, it's a different... So it actually made working with buttercream, which I do now.
Yeah.
A breeze in a lot of ways. So I eventually just started frosting there. And I would always kind of have to be stopped.
They take the spatula away from you.
Yeah.
So this was just, you were an artist. This was kind of what you were doing to pay the rent. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And did it just shut down right away?
Yeah, it was pretty much a group email
Yeah.
of
There goes your job.
yes.
So you weren't really that into it. What made you decide, like, first off, your side hustle becoming such a big thing is amazing.
Thank you.
Like, you know how many people we all know, artists in New York City,
Totally.
everybody has side hustles. Yours has become a huge, like, success. That's an amazing thing. Like,
Thank you so much.
I think a lot of artists have business ideas,
Hmm.
have creative business ideas,
Mhm.
and I don't know, pass them to their friends or unfortunately try them. You know, it's not always
Yeah.
the greatest when artists decide to go into business.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're like making a huge success of it, but you didn't plan to really.
Not at first. I think I really fell in love with cake decorating there, and being an artist. I like just like colorways immediately made sense.
Yeah.
And designs aren't really something I need to think about beforehand. So that aspect really appealed to me. And then just fell in love with, I guess, working in a kitchen and doing that in a kitchen. And it taught me how to work in a really small space.
I read that you said that in Byline, and I thought
What
that,
did I say?
did you say that in Byline, that the small
Probably.
space thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting because people, you know, you move to New York City and you kind of think it's over for your domestic life, even if you wanted to cook something. Most
Mhm.
people have a really tiny space. I don't even buy groceries because I'm
Yeah.
scared of what happens when I
Right.
open all this stuff
Yeah,
up. And
same.
you know what I mean? So that's interesting that you said that because it is hard to get your mind around you're going to run a business out of this
Yeah.
New York City
Yeah.
kitchen,
Mhm.
you know?
And I have a roommate
Oh, okay.
who's luckily very good about and very understanding and very flexible.
Do you have to pay this person off at all?
I might have to. I might have to start. I sent her a really long text the other day because I have a wedding cake at the end of this month
Okay.
that is going to feed 150 people.
Get these orders in early for her, please.
Like literally.
This is a specialty thing. Don't call her for a cupcake. You know, we make big things here.
No cupcakes.
We feed a lot of people with them. They're big, beautiful pieces of art.
They really are.
So the bridge I'm trying to make here is that you seem, when you tell that story, it seems like when I read it in Byline, it seems like you're saying you weren't really that into it.
I didn't go in here being like, this is what I want to do. I really was failing out of school and had no.
You know, so
You
was
know.
it like maybe like the first couple got so much attention that you were like, okay, I'll do it again?
Well, what happened was, so I stopped working there.
Yeah.
And then COVID summer went by and I still wasn't really baking, but I was like, damn, I should learn how to bake a cake from scratch and like, you know, just do what
Shut
I
up.
like doing.
You didn't even know how to make cakes at this
No,
point?
no.
This is crazy. This is a
But I
crazy
knew how to
story.
decorate them and I knew how to like do all the outside stuff. And I made one girl's birthday cake and it was like the scariest thing to be doing that in the apartment that I just moved into.
Right.
And then once I did that, I did another friend's birthday cake a month later. And the same thing basically until December of 2020. And then in 2021, I was like, okay. And I just made it my
Because it was
business.
still
And I made an
happening.
Instagram for it. And I think I just didn't really take myself seriously at that time with it. And
So
I
you
had a
weren't
lot of
to
doubts about it.
You still weren't like, oh, we are launching this. kind of a business.
Around this time you're describing is when we first met.
Yeah.
And I still remember asking you like, "Oh, are you an artist?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What do you make?" And you were like, "I make cakes." And you showed me your Instagram and you were very like unsure of it, but I was also like,
But people
Whoa.
are enjoying it, right? And so
Yeah.
you're kind of doing this thing, but people are really picking up on it.
Yeah.
And you didn't set out to be the cake queen. You're the cake queen now.
She's
Thank
the.
you
You're the
She's
cake
the
queen
cake
now.
queen.
But like,
There's several
this
cake
is why it's like,
queens.
wow, no.
No,
This is
you're
why.
the-
All
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't care. about that.
Capital
Okay.
T.
But that's what I really like about this story is that, like I said before, a lot of artists have things like this, or something like that in their lives. And you kind of like, everybody seemed to like it so much more than like people started believing in it, maybe even more than you thought.
Yeah.
More
for
than
sure.
you. It's so cool like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would be like, okay, forget it. Hi, my name's Madeline. I'm the cake maker.
I do that now.
Yeah, you should be proud of it. It's
Thank you.
really cool.
I appreciate that I did take it slow in the beginning.
Yeah.
And didn't just like jump in. I think I really let myself have a lot of time to learn and like also not latch on to this thing that I wasn't completely versed in. Like I'm still learning how to run a business. It's a huge responsibility. I'm like
Yeah.
giving people food that they're eating.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to go wrong.
You're taking commissions. These are
Yeah.
big, big things.
Yeah. And I also want to have room to still experiment with different techniques and all of that. So I'm glad that it went at that pace and is going at a good pace.
It gets better, right? It's
Yeah,
still doing,
yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
quite elevated from that, but
Wow.
it's good. And once I made the Instagram account, I just kind of was like, okay, duh,
Did the Times call you before or after that?
after.
Oh, okay. Not long though.
Not that
These
long
big
after.
dates
And
are
I had
long.
also, there was some other Times cake piece that came out right before that or a few months before that. And I was distraught.
You're like, I'm not in this fucking piece.
Yeah,
Are you
I was like,
serious?
oh.
He even called me.
And then they reached out.
Well,
So everyone, there's a
it's a
place for
pretty good
everyone.
timeline.
Yeah, it's a
That's-
good timeline.
That's pretty dope
Thank
to
you.
like people like what you're doing so fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an artist, a lot of times you're standing in front of stuff like, come on in, everybody. Have something here. And when people pick up on something, nothing feels better than
Yeah, it's really
like you,
special.
You know, you stop talking and they're still coming, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So how did everybody here meet? How did we all meet each other? Who's the
Collage group.
is the collage?
Well, we all kind of like met through art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
went to
surprising.
Marika's Lindsay show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like-
public access. Correct me. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was
feel
like,
so
I want to
proud
be
of
her friend.
So you're just hanging out around Marika, like, what's up?
I
This is
think-
really cool.
You and I met, and you and Marika met, and me and Marika met, all independently of each other. I also met her because of the Lindsay show.
Yeah.
I met Marika because of the Lindsay show also, which
Okay.
then
Thank you, Lindsay.
Wow, we really love
Like literally.
Literally, I didn't even put that together
That's
yet.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that that's all how we met Marika because of but through her show. But
She was in a breakout moment. That's what was
major.
happening.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know these two, and I met them through the collage group that Marika organized.
Marika's the nucleus here. That's what I'm
Major
getting.
nucleus.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time
Yeah,
nucleus.
so my
Nucleana.
Thank you. One of my proudest works, honestly. is
Like collage group,
throwing this together.
literally.
Yeah, this little squad.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's been awesome for all of us.
It is a collage. It's a collage group thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fucking dope.
It's cool. We all have our own mediums and our own style. And like I remember our first time like really talking and hanging out, I tried your cake. It was at Grant's book thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You made a cake.
What are we talking here? When was this?
Grant who
This
does
was August
August of last year, is it
2021.
Yeah, 2021.
That was old.
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
a deep cut. Grant who does American art catalogs. He was doing like a book release party
Yeah.
or something, and then I tried her cake, and I was like, "Shit, this is fucking good." And you were super cool and down to earth, you know, which is like I was, you know, still like pretty not new to the city, but like still kind of making friends and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so I was just like, oh, she's so sweet. And
There was
and
a frosted hag at your birthday that year.
that year, yeah, she did.
Mhm.
She's done 2 of my birthdays now.
Nice.
So it's like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have.
That's right.
I'm
Where else are you going? That would be ridiculous. You have a friend in the cake business.
Yeah, true.
I know. And it's one of those businesses too, it's like it'll never be replaced or go out. You know what I mean? Like AI is not gonna replace it. Like,
True.
It's a very
I guess
special
not.
form of art that's always gonna stay around.
Yeah.
You know? It's part of
I like the non-edible flowers. I like all of this other stuff. I
The
feel like
foliage.
you're
Yeah.
telling me that you were sitting there in that cake shop thinking of the designs before you even knew how to bake. That's kind of what I'm getting out of that. You were already up front imagining, you know what we could really do with some real art in this cake place,
Yeah.
right?
She's an artist.
You know, you were already thinking about
I learned
the
how
designs.
to work with everything there,
You-
but not actually.
It's like you learned how to cook so that you could do the design.
Exactly.
You know, and the
Yeah.
dope.
Which is a whole other process.
So
But-
pretty much when it's anybody's birthday around here, especially anybody here, or any kind of celebrations going on, and see the cakes. And that's how I learned who you were on the internet, was because over the years I'd be like, "There's one of those cakes again," you know, and like
Yeah.
it seems like all the time something special is going on. You see the cake on Instagram first, and think, "What's happening?
Yeah.
Whose birthday is it? What's going on?"
Yeah.
You know, because there's going to be a special cake there. I'm not
Shout
kidding
out
about
to
that.
Sarah from Sarah's.
Oh,
She
yeah.
gets a lot of cakes and puts them there. And
Oh, does she?
yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Who's
She's
Sarah?
a
Sarah Blazej.
God
Bage?
bless her.
Oh, that's
yeah.
it.
And she
Oh,
runs
yeah.
Sarah's World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's got a few cakes from me for Sarah's openings, and it's
Nice.
That's really cool to
Yeah,
have a
she's a
venue
queen.
on your side like that. Yeah.
absolutely.
She's
Yeah.
a real one.
Give her a menu and be like, you just pass these out. I looked it up. I looked up the cakes. I was like, let me get my teeth in these cakes. And I was like, whoa, this is a special event. Okay, well, I looked at it and I was like, maybe for Christmas. It looks like a special event thing.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
definitely.
Fair.
It's
Christmas
definitely
cakes
a
are
thing.
major.
I think that you could spend as much money as the cakes. This is New York City. It's a specialty item, guys.
Yeah.
But you could spend that much money on a bunch of shit for your like birthday or barbecue or whatever, and no one would remember it. Like
It's
they would come to your
true.
house and they would eat and they would have fun, but they wouldn't really remember what it was or whatever. You get something like this at a specialty thing that like somebody's friend made, especially,
Mhm.
and like everybody knows what it is, and it makes everything like a lot more fun.
I
Absolutely.
mean, people also like literally crowd around them, like taking
Yeah.
photos of it. Like they are works of art,
Right.
which it's not just like a cool cake. That's what I love about it too. They're really special. Like
It's like
every time once, I mean, I like they don't get old to me either, which is you know what I mean. I've seen like a million at this point, and every time I'm like like you know what I mean, and taking like photos of them.
no, they're really cool. And
They're
Marika's
amazing.
standing there with the sword over the cake, and it's like, don't touch it.
That was huge.
That
That
was
was
very
so
Marika.
huge.
Don't
That
touch
was
the
a big
goddamn-
moment.
So huge.
Unforgettable moment
Don't
in my
don't
life.
Yeah.
slash the cake up.
Sword or no sword, like yeah, that.
I
cake-
want to come up with a sword
Cutter.
business.
A sword-
That would-
oh,
okay.
yeah.
You know,
You're gonna sell people the utensils.
yeah,
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
merch.
That would be cool.
I meant to say merch. You know,
You should make frosted hag knives, like branded knives.
Yeah.
Do you have to tell people no now? Do you get so much stuff that sometimes you have to push it back? Because
it's different each month. This month is really busy,
yeah.
and I've had to say no.
Did I also read that
hurts.
you've like maybe hired somebody? Do you have another person now?
No,
No, oh,
I
it's just you
wish.
still.
I have my coworker at the gallery that I work at part time, helping me with the wedding cake.
All right, now she's got another job. Right.
Because we work very well together, and she's a dear friend, and she's always
That's awesome.
helpful. So
But you don't have another employee
No.
yet. It's still mostly you and a friend or something.
no, yeah, it's a lot of work to explain to someone how to do that whole process and have them. I mean, that's one thing. Like people assist artists all the time, but it's another thing to have it in your apartment with a roommate too, and like it wouldn't work for me schedule wise either.
Yeah. I could see how you can get really busy. You're one
Yeah.
person, you're in your apartment.
My
These things
boyfriend
are
helps me a
real.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
there you
he
go.
does a
And
lot.
do not pay him either.
I
Do
don't.
not pay him. He's
I
working.
would hope not.
He's working for free. He's working for free and cake.
But he's come through on some pretty,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
on some crises.
he has to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I could see how you can get kind of like too much because they're specialty items. It's not like you
And I
make
have
it
a small
100.
kitchen, and it's just like, it's weird. I don't know. The energy shifts, and it's weird to like, you know, I don't know.
We
Yeah.
were all just stirring some frosting right
Before.
before this.
Yeah. How did that feel? Thank you.
Did you
Felt-
guys
it
come
felt
from directly
great.
from the cake factory?
We really
Were you at the
did.
cake
We
factory?
did.
I think it's
Yeah.
also I'm so stressed too, which is I'm used to feeling that way, but I think for another person, it like,
Oh, so your friends are kind of in your work spot.
yeah, I'm kind of like,
Yeah. The boyfriend and the friends can sit at the table while you like work your ass
Yeah.
off, and they're all just having a great
yeah,
time.
and I'm like, there's the
You're like,
dishes.
you're,
Thank you.
you're just working your ass off of the greatest cake business ever. Everybody's watching a movie.
That literally,
Literally.
was just happening.
I do love though. I love working while someone is in my living room watching something because it gets lonely.
Yeah.
A movie prescribed by Maddie.
We were
Yeah,
watching the
I
Gypsy Rose.
I just made them watch Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. Have
While
seen
you
it?
worked? No.
I was gonna work, but then I realized my mixer would be too loud, and I really wanted them to hear
we soaked it up.
every word. So I made the frosting right before coming. But
Well, what's the process there? You have to make some batches? You made some frosting because later
yeah, I'm trying to make a batch a day, pretty much, to store for this cake because
Oh.
it's gonna require a lot.
You said hundreds of people it feeds? 100?
150.
That's a lot of people on a
Oof.
cake.
Yeah.
Oof, how do you must have your metrics down. You got cake metrics down pretty good now? Like 100
Decent.
people?
Yeah. Pretty good. I
Sounds
think
like a
there's
big
always
cake.
room to, you always kind of have to check yourself.
Am I going to be one of those people? Because we're talking
You
about
could
pretty
be.
fucking big cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a really special box for it,
Okay.
which I'm happy about. But it's a lot of mental gymnastics.
Do you live
for
on the first
sure.
floor?
Yeah, which is great.
Thank God.
Yeah. I really
right.
don't know how it would work otherwise.
Okay.
It would be a lot more painful. But yeah.
I think about this stuff all the time. I used to make some sculptures on the side. And where I lived relative to the apartment decides how much it can weigh.
Yeah.
If I live on the first floor, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm really just trying to be prepared and calm for this because a cake of that size, you really don't know what.
What's your biggest cake?
Second biggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened the first time you seemed
I was
trepidatious?
really, really prepared. It ended up being fine, but I had to make so much frosting ahead of time. I don't know. It's mental gymnastics. You have to figure out like what's going to fit in the fridge and what's not, and when can I do this and when is.
You're a restaurateur now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are. That would stress me out. I've worked at a couple restaurants.
Yeah, it's also stressful because you can't really do too much ahead of time to like really understand what's going to be happening because some bullshit will just come up while you're doing it and you have to figure it out.
You can't make all the edible items 2 months in advance.
No, you kind of
There's a
have,
window,
I have
yeah.
like 48 hours to make a painting and I have to rush that out.
Exactly.
And be happy with it.
That's great.
And hope that other people are too.
So obviously you guys all get wasted and try to go back to her house and eat cake. Is that really the...
I wish.
Is that
Yeah, I know. Random.
that really seems like the move to me. Like
randomly-
they're pretty close
I've
to
only
dimes.
ever had 3 frosted hag cakes. I feel like
Really? Oh, I gobble them up.
I'm waiting for my sleigh cake, but
Yeah.
You're getting it.
I haven't eaten that many of them. I wish.
I like on one
Once you've had
occasion
one, you've
I got to have like the scraps while you were like, and that was
That's what
a
I'm
treat.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like you
Just
sent me
hanging
home
out.
with like Tupperware of like just delicious cake.
Yeah, she's gonna have to
And
make
I
some
ate
You
it
liked
all.
it?
I ate it all on the walk home. Like I literally got home with with an empty thing. It was like, well, that's
Oh, I do remember that.
yeah. It was delish.
You're in a deli somewhere at 4 a.m. Can I have some napkins?
Yeah,
You have some napkins?
for real.
One of my favorite days ever was when you and Joe just like randomly showed up to my studio with a Tupperware of what do we call it? Like
It's a sleigh cake. I'm
Oh,
yet
the
to get a
sleigh
sleigh
cake.
cake.
What's a sleigh cake?
Sleigh scraps.
Sleigh
Oh,
scraps.
sleigh scraps.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I put scraps in a Tupperware container
Right.
with frosting.
Ooh,
and then
yeah.
I try to do a little zhuzh of color and sparkle and
I
flowers.
honestly
and then
think
I write
you could-
sleigh with the S that has the 3, the like elementary school
Right.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly think you could sell
Sleigh cake.
Sleigh
Trademark
cakes.
that.
You should.
I could elevate it a bit.
That's actually
An
kind
e-
of a really great idea.
An elevated
Yeah.
sleigh cake.
If it was
Wow.
walking
Like
off
a
the
small
street
thing,
stuff,
as like a,
yeah.
small order sleigh
I
cake.
would
Right.
pick up a sleigh cake on a
I would
birthday.
too. Easy.
Wow.
If
I
I was
hope-
on my
I
period,
hope that gets
I'd
born
pick a
right
sleigh
here on
cake
the
up in
show.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I would not be where I am without these girls.
Yeah,
It's
they're
so
giving you
true.
great
You all
ideas.
would be.
We really are.
They give
like,
me great ideas. That they support me. They've heard a lot of cake meltdowns.
They've heard all the cake
would be in
meltdowns.
the
and they've
gutter,
talked
all of
me
us.
down from them.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's very special.
It is.
It is a very special friend.
We would all be in the gutter without each other. It's true.
Yeah.
My quality of life has
It's
amped up.
pretty obvious on the internet, that's where I live, that you guys are fast friends. It's hard not to see a photograph of one of you without seeing the other ones. When she asked me if we could add you to the show, I was like, yes, I was just afraid to ask.
Really?
Yeah, I was afraid.
Why? What
Because
the
it
hell?
felt like too much right away. But I know what the group is. And I was like,
You
yes,
knew
of
Destiny.
course.
would-
He
They
called
literally
you the
said-
fourth amigo.
Yeah, I said, I know who the fourth is anyway, yes.
I love that. Yeah. You know, that's just how we roll.
You guys roll pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have each other's backs. Like,
That's
Nature.
awesome.
yeah.
It is amazing.
Who here's the drunk texter? Who's texting the group chat? Who's the one doing it? Is it Liv?
Yeah.
Who's the one who you're like, oh my God, I know who that is texting me right
That's
now?
really funny. Yeah.
The selfie.
Who's the taxi mom?
The what?
The taxi mom. Like,
What's
who's
that?
the, okay, everybody get into the taxi, God damn it.
Maybe Maddie.
Is
I think
Madeline the taxi
Madeline,
mom?
yeah.
It's the
Okay.
business owner thing. It's the business owner.
Yeah.
It's the business owner thing.
I will let you drive the boat.
Thanks, babe.
Uh-huh.
Anytime.
They, I'm actually a podcaster unofficially,
Shut
and my
up.
audience is.
I didn't know that.
No, I'm.
Oh my
I
God,
mean, they
Tessa?
say-
She sends
It's
so many
crazy.
voice notes.
I send
She
like
is
monologue
official
okay,
podcasts.
alright.
Like and literally they call it Tessa's podcast. We have a group chat, and it's just
Yeah.
me spouting off for like 10 minutes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just like put it on while I like do other stuff.
She's doing the dishes, listening to your
Like,
drunk
same.
recordings.
Like I'm just like, and
And
that
there's
leads
never
me
a
to my
dull
notes.
moment. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't. When I send an audio message, I'm like,
It's
and then I stop,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, and then I
Yeah.
send it, and then I send another one that's the same thing. Tessa nails it. She goes right through. She gets to the point. She stays on the point.
Dude, I
Well, no,
It's very impressive. No, but she deviates, but there's
like crazy.
She's an
but
actor.
she's
like
still
monologue time.
you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
I can like recognize actually by the second. I can
You know
determine
who's sitting
who's-
there.
So it's like I see an 8-second, then a 20-second after, then a minute. Madeline. I see like
Yeah.
a 3-minute 45. So I'm like Tessa. And then usually like Liv and I are kind of the same. We do like 15 seconds to
Yeah.
We're 2 minutes.
Concise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pretty
Yeah.
concise. But
Yeah.
if it's like really popping off, then it's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes it is like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So true.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I feel like I use the group chat as just like my diary almost in a way. Like my
For
But,
real.
but you come in with the like
The wisdom.
with like the
It's
wisdom.
nuts.
Like
It's so
So much
crazy.
wisdom.
I feel the same about y'all, and I'm not even just saying that.
Oh.
But like I can just project my anxiety thoughts in there, get like advice.
Yeah, it really is like a forum of just us.
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
The most poppin' Reddit for it.
Group chats can be dangerous too.
They can.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
intense.
group chats go.
If there's
Hey,
to hell.
wire.
there's too many people, also it can be like
Yeah.
too insane.
I think an even number is good.
Mhm.
I will say.
No,
Oh.
kill me. I would expect that just you guys are in there. Just tell me, lie to
Yeah,
me. Tell
it's
me
us.
it's just
It's
you.
us.
It's just us.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's what I
We,
want.
no, yeah, it's just us.
Where are we Where are we
There's no
going?
room.
Where are we going all the time? Do you guys want to tell us? You don't have to tell me the exact place, but are we still hanging out in Dimes all the time? Are you guys a little closer to Chinatown all the time?
I don't go anywhere.
personally-
Are we East Villaging lately?
I'm an East Village baby girl. I personally avoid Dime Square like the plague.
Okay.
But then I find myself there, so I don't know that
Guilty.
was contradictory. But like, I don't know. I feel like we are social, but also like are all individually really productive. So
Yeah.
it's not so much
Mhm.
that we're like going out and partying a lot. Like we're in constant
Yeah, we're busy.
contact, but we are
Well, I
busy.
know you're professional women.
We are professional.
But we live
women.
in New York City. Come on, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
We all know what's going on.
Like me and Marika were out at like our friend's birthday last night at a random. It was actually it was in Times Square. I'm like I avoid it like the plague. My best friends are
Powerade.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
So
yeah.
true.
You go to the things that you have to and want to go to, but you're not constantly hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Which
You gotta
I
do a lot
can't
of
do because I will
appearances, like-
start like tweaking.
We all get paid $20K to go to the club.
No,
I
yeah.
wait.
20K per appearance.
Could
No,
you
but you like you
imagine?
do. Are you saying you just do the gallery openings, or you do the
Yeah.
opening, you do the thing, and then you kind of get
Uh-huh.
lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I mostly go to openings, but I also go to Ridgewood spots near my studio.
Oh, really? Do you go to the sundown?
Rolos.
You don't have to tell me. I love
Yeah,
the sundown.
Sundown's good.
yeah,
I do the really queer thing where I go to the sundown for sundown. So like,
Okay.
That's
yeah,
why
like
I've never seen
sometimes Thursdays, sometimes on the weekends or something. I go there just for sunset hours.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
The basement of that place gets wild and strange, and they
Yeah,
local.
I don't know why they don't make the basement just all normal seating.
Why don't
because
they?
I
What
go
is
down
it?
there and it's
Weird
empty
cafeteria
and there's
seats.
just like weird shit going on, and the upstairs is packed.
Yes.
But like the downstairs is like some like one lady doing karaoke alone.
and like a Russian
me.
guy with no shirt
Yeah.
sleeves.
Yeah, it's like really bizarre.
Yeah,
For real.
I've gotten to some weird stuff down there, and nowadays when people say, "Do you want to go down in the basement?" I just say no.
Me too. Me
Like,
too. I'm like,
I've never been.
passed.
Now I want to
I
go.
never
to
come out of
Yeah, you guys
basements
should
once
all
I'm in
come
them.
down
all go to
attack.
Sundown. It's hard to get these girls out to Ridgewood. They're very busy.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it.
But
I
you-
was there
you don't-
very
Let me
busy.
know in advance.
But you don't live out there. That's just where you work,
Well, I live in Clinton Hill.
right? Okay.
So I'm just like kind of everywhere. I like commute. I'm so used to commuting around that
She's saving up for a house.
What?
Yeah,
Shut
I
up. Are you
am.
really? Are you going to leave New York? Are you too
No.
successful now?
Oh
Are you
my
too
god,
successful
never.
now?
I'm never leaving.
You
New
sold
York.
some paintings, and you're going to the.
Oh,
you're
I-
going upstate to
I
the
would
Hudson Valley.
literally never ever.
That pipeline.
The Hudson Valley pipeline.
Yeah, the
I don't
Hudson-
understand. I always, I thought just people come in. When people go back, I'm like, wait, where are you going? You come down.
Mm.
Yeah, go back. Oh, that's crazy.
No, New York forever.
There you go.
New York or nowhere.
No, I know you're all over the place, Liv. I see you sometimes. You're getting a city bike, and
You see me on a city bike?
every now and then I've seen you on a city bike.
Why don't you wave?
And, well, I used to think you lived downtown, and then I find out you're going to Brooklyn sometimes on a bicycle.
Oh, I'm in Brooklyn every single day.
Well,
I live there.
She's
Yeah,
the
well,
luckiest girl in
it's a
Brooklyn.
long
I'm the
way-
luckiest girl in Brooklyn.
That's what she said. She literally does say that like once a week.
I fully believe it.
What-
And
what's
you are-
going on?
She's
You
the
just live
luckiest
a
girl in
charmed life.
Brooklyn.
I live
Yeah,
a charmed
she's
life in
charmed.
Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. That's
If it was
fine.
in Manhattan, I would not be the luckiest girl. But in Brooklyn, I could say confidently I'm the luckiest
Oh,
girl.
okay. No. I know how that is. All right. Top of the heap in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good.
Exactly. That's what
Powerhouse.
I say. And the cheap rent.
Yeah. Is it really that cheap? Is that cheap for you?
My
It
rent
probably
is very cheap. I got a really cheap place in Brooklyn during COVID.
I got it. What I thought was a cheap place on the Upper East Side, but it turns out it's a tiny box, and the rent's gone all the way back up since COVID.
Yeah, a lot of that happens.
They just were like, "It's back up now." I was like, "You can't do that," and they were like, "Yes, we."
I've
can."
They're like,
got a
we-
Yeah,
very-
they sure can.
I've
Yeah.
got a very slumlord landlord.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Liv's had some very interesting
But
roommates.
But
Yeah.
Well, not currently.
No, you're good now. No crazy roommates.
Oh yeah, I'm Ingrid.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah.
How many roommates do you think you've had while you've lived in New York?
Oh God, that's.
That's a good question, right?
Oh,
I think I hit 20.
Double digits for sure.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I've been here since I was 18.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely double digits.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
there've
had
been a few
20 different
repeats.
roommates in my
There've been
life.
a few repeats.
Damn.
But I lived in one of those like dude places in the beginning where like 6 other guys lived in there.
Yeah.
There was a
I've-
guy living on top of the, refrigerator or something.
Like a
Yeah, I've had a few of those for sure.
Yeah, so well, the rest of you guys all live in the city, right?
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
Manhattanites.
We're not shaming you about it. You're proud. You know, right? You don't even care. She's like, I live in Brooklyn.
I mean, I don't like living in Brooklyn, but I do it to save money.
Well, I thought I was a big baller. Now I'm probably moving back to Brooklyn. I don't know what I'm going to do over it now.
Where do you live now?
I live on 81st and 1st.
Okay, Upper East Side is great.
I
It's cute.
nannied
expensive.
people close
Yeah,
to there.
it's yeah.
It had a moment of being like cheap and having a cheap reputation, though.
Yeah, I thought it was really
It's Yorkville, that area.
That is where I
Yeah,
live.
that's where I I mean, I moved a lot, but I lived in that area.
You grew up in the Upper East Side?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it up there. It's not as elderly as people say it is.
Mhm.
But it is just as boring as they say it is. It's not as
It's
elderly.
boring.
There is actually
It
a
is
lot of like
boring.
undergrad.
It's so like, ugh.
But that's boring too. Like, I've aged out of the groups of kids who are wearing their college colors.
Right.
It's not, it's weird. I didn't
Yeah.
really expect that up there.
And then it's like families.
I lived
It's
there
just
when I was
like
in undergrad.
I
Did you
live next to
It's
Pratt.
it's people who are
75th
like
and
just
First
out of
though.
where?
75th and First.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's my neighborhood.
I live next to Pratt and I see all the Pratt kids and I'm like, ugh, get out of here with your weird outfit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you
The
think
film
I can
you
like
look
see you
great,
saying that too.
but you don't.
Get
Liv
out
says,
of
"Get
here.
out of here."
That's the funnest thing about living in Brooklyn is trying to figure out if people dress that way on purpose or if there's just something's wrong with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's also very Dime
go hand in
Square,
hand.
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very performative.
Well,
Yeah.
don't talk to the guy with the cowboy hat about that shit.
I was thinking that. I was like, says
call
Mr.
me out.
Cowboy hat.
Call me out.
I mean, I'm with it.
I used to live in Bushwick as a younger man, and we called it Bushwick Best.
Oh,
We would see somebody, or one of our roommates would be going out wearing something ridiculous. We'd be like, Bushwick Best.
I
'Cause
like
literally-
that.
Makes sense, yeah.
Literally, you could not wear whatever it was you were wearing outside of that neighborhood. If
Right.
you went into Manhattan wearing whatever that was, people would think you were a mental patient.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
When was this?
I don't know. Oh, the Obama administration.
Oh, okay.
That's a long administration.
Yeah, well, I'm getting older.
How long have you been doing the cowboy hat?
Since just when the podcast started.
Oh,
cool.
cool.
And this is the year anniversary show.
Do you always?
Oh
match
my
This is a
God.
yeah. Huh?
Do you always match it?
I was
No,
like, what,
I
like the
just did
5th
this
today.
episode?
I was gonna get like I'm sorry?
I was like, what, like how many episodes in?
This will be like 65 maybe?
But what was
You
mine?
weren't 8.
You were much more prepared this time. I'm
Oh, I know.
impressed. I'm so
Let's
impressed.
everybody take a moment
Liv.
to apologize to Liv and everybody else who came on the show in the beginning.
Thank you. I accept it.
But it's a lot better now, right? Is it a lot more
You
fun
are.
now?
I'm shocked. I'm
having
Yeah.
a great time.
I'm like beyond.
Do we want to tell everybody? Let's do Marika first. Did you mind? When I invited Marika on the show, first of all, she wanted to talk to me on the phone. Isn't that true? And tell me, I know who she's talking about. Tell me, one of her friends came on my show. Wasn't that great of a time? She's not so sure. I was like, I wonder who it was. She's like, you have to tell me. You cannot be mean to my friend on the show. I was like,
I was like, he was not mean. He was not mean. I said, I corrected. I was like, he's.
So then she's like,
ill prepared.
She yelled at me a little bit. And then she was very nice. She said, okay, I'm just checking. Just making sure you're not being mean to my friend. She was very protective. And then she came on the show.
And Mama
That's
Marika.
right, Mama
We look
Marika.
out for each
I
other.
appreciate it. I respect,
We really do.
We look
I
out for each
respect the
other.
whole thing.
Yeah, no. But again, like, you know, we're all just doing our thing, you know, as artists, and there's always like the awkward beginning stages.
It
Totally.
is. It's hard to start out on something.
It's so
Everybody's got a fucking attitude in this town.
It's
including me.
including
time.
me.
So true.
Yeah.
I am such a brat.
And everyone says they're shy.
Right.
And they're not
Nobody's shy.
No one's
You know what I say to
shy.
that?
Oh.
Do you know what I say to that?
Shy, and they're not busy.
Oh, that is the worst.
Oh, the busy? Yeah.
That's
She's
really-
busy. I'm
She is, but you know it's a.
Why I don't want to
saying
talk
that.
about how I'm busy.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
is the first way to.
I get more
recognize someone with
tired
nothing
saying
going
that.
on.
You know what I always tell the shy, because shy is such an easy disguise, right?
Mhm.
I always tell people all the time, like, you're not shy, you're aloof,
Mm.
and that is a negative. That's
Yeah,
a
and it's
negative
not wanting to
connotation.
take
If you
like
wanted to
accountability for your like actions, or
Also,
it's
like,
just putting.
Yeah.
If you wanted to fucking talk, you would.
Yeah.
I think just
Like,
bring rude back as an
Yeah,
adjective
no,
for
you-
people.
You're
Yeah,
right. You're
bring
right.
And
it.
shy
I
and
hate
the other
people
one,
really
yeah.
hate when people say they're shy.
Well, you think though, like you've been in New
Yeah.
York City for a long time.
I have.
There's a weird positive thing going on.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
agree with
it's
that at all?
societally there is a weird positive.
I think
Wait,
that
what
there's
are you
a
guys talking about?
What do you mean?
since COVID. Here's the hypothesis.
Okay.
Since COVID, there's been a weird kind of like positive downtown thing where people are like almost LA-ishly positive sometimes.
I think, like
Hmm.
I don't know about like positive.
No one that I speak to.
No one that I speak to, but more I think there is like societally just kind of this like everyth's gonna be okay, like not really acknowledging where we're at moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
I could
think
do a
it's a
major voice
deluge.
note right now, so I'll rein it in. But that's my
No, that's what we're here for.
that's my comment on that. It's just no one's saying we're they.
I think it's
/
hard
we are
to
at.
accept that things keep getting worse.
Yeah, but I think that it's like
Yeah.
things are getting worse because of the lack of just like owning what's going on. Like there's so I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's real. Everyone's kind of full of shit. I wouldn't call it positive.
I see
I
where
think
you're
people
going.
are really full of it.
I see where you're going. Where like we're kind of living in a moment. I call it the pre-political moment
Yeah,
because
we're bullshitting.
there'll be an election next year.
Right.
People will be angry
Mhm.
and they'll want to
they'll
discuss
throw
stuff.
it. Yeah.
This
and then we
summer was
can-
for blocking it out, right?
Yeah.
This summer was for like pretending next year is not really going to happen.
Mhm.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think everything's like really coded in like this layer of like irony or sort of like detached kind of like,
Right.
aloofness. And
Yeah.
it can come off as like positive or ignorant or something. And it's, but I don't know. I think I want people to be positive, but yeah, it does feel kind of like fake, like
Fake,
artificial.
yeah.
You
I wonder if
have
I'm
no
just not
idea what you guys
feeling.
are
Maybe
talking about.
maybe I have too many people from Los Angeles around me. Maybe that's it.
Probably.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
just it.
probably.
I
One
don't
is
know.
too many.
Yeah, that's a problem in and of itself.
How
It can
many?
be, right?
One is too many.
It can be.
One is too many.
Yeah. No, I
No, I agree. I have been doing this show. I don't meet people from Los Angeles out in my real life because of not like I'm so East Coast. People from Los Angeles kind of walk away.
Where are
from
you
me.
from?
I'm from South Florida.
Okay.
And what was I going to say? Well,
LA people.
LA people. LA people don't usually dig LA people, but doing this show,
Okay.
I have met people from Los Angeles that I surprisingly get along with. That has been a surprise about doing this show. Is everyone from Los Angeles has not been terrible.
Yeah, no, there.
I'm-
I'm more.
I'm
making more of
surprised.
a
Yeah.
joke because I'm
I
like.
know, do it because I'm
am
hard
being
on
like
Los
no.
Angeles.
It's but Los Angeles. There, I've met. I mean,
But you're an actress.
I am.
You know about Los Angeles.
You know, I don't know
Okay.
a lot about. I do like I actually all my acting experience has been in New York, and I take like a method acting class, and my teacher he does an LA session and a New York session, so that's the only reason I'll go to LA. My
Method acting at the studio.
no, it's not the actors studio. No,
Okay.
it's just my teacher, Tony
you.
Greco.
So I'm like killing you.
Bless you.
We're all
Bless you. Of course.
puff pass.
Is this a Puff Puff Pass moment? The Snoop Dogg moment. Yeah.
She's on her Snoop Dogg behavior.
We started talking about LA and all.
Yeah, and you were
this,
just like
Yeah, I got it. That's fine.
blazing.
Let's get. Let me. We're talking about
This
Los
is
Angeles.
so fun.
Smoothie and a green bowl.
Yeah.
Give me an acai bowl and a J and some crystals.
Yeah.
Let's let's do a little catch up here.
Okay.
Marika, you want to talk about France? The show in
Sure. Thanks.
May I?
Yeah.
Meiderhof. What's the name?
It's called Hoffenmaler
Hoffenmaler.
Wallenberg is
Yes.
the name of the gallery. It's a mouthful. It's like 3 names in one. They don't make sense. But yeah, no, so the official location of the gallery is in Nice. I don't really know if I'm like supposed to talk about it, but
Okay.
whatever, the information's gonna come out anyway. He's thinking of doing like changing locations. So
Oh.
like having shows at other like pop-up locations, gallery spaces, either like Detroit, Los Angeles.
I didn't
A pop-up in Detroit?
Palm Springs.
Ah.
Detroit's incredible.
Which, you know, he proposed Detroit to me to show this like the body of work I was gonna show in Nice in October. It was this like exercise machine series I've been working on. And he's like, yeah, we could do it in Detroit or LA. And I was like, Detroit seems kind of fitting.
Detroit's really cool. Also,
Yeah.
my best friend and / ex-boyfriend like lived there for
Mhm.
years, and he'd be able to show you around.
Did he
like,
go back for the homesteading, for the Detroit homesteading where they buy?
for what?
Well, you know, there was a big Detroit homesteading movement where everybody
Yeah.
Oh,
went
wait,
back
yes.
to Detroit.
Because
Yeah.
houses were
Oh
like
yeah, after it,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, that's
he
the thing.
lived there, with his ex, but
Alright.
yeah,
We wish them well.
yeah, totally. No,
Okay,
I actually love him. But
So
back
the
to
show.
Marika.
Well, we're coming right to. We're coming right to.
Yeah,
So the show might tour is what we're here. What you're
My
saying?
tour, yeah. And I mean, Detroit sounds awesome, but he did say LA.
Yeah.
And the location that
LA
it
is
would
cool.
be at, in a way, the gallery.
so sorry.
Gotta have a little.
Liv can do anything.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. I don't care what Liv does.
You like shake
She
up
can
a
break
light
everything,
on
yeah.
spray.
True.
I'm so sorry.
The performance art. Yeah, no. So I'm gonna actually do LA.
Yeah?
Honestly. Yeah.
If you
do
have your
LA.
pick.
If I have my pick, and
Yeah.
then this time slot, it's just gonna be like pushed back a couple months, December. And I was like, if we can have a December LA moment,
Oh, that would be dope.
Major.
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at like the next couple weeks.
No,
Okay.
not next couple weeks.
Okay.
At first I was like, oh, because I've been like so ready for that date.
Yeah.
And but
Okay.
everything works out very
You know, to be
It
honest with you,
does.
I did have to dig for it. I noticed that there was no like ads or nobody had anything.
Oh.
I had to go through their stuff and find where it
Yeah,
said it.
yeah.
So I can see like, you can tell maybe stuff's changing.
Totally, yeah. They're undergoing renovations.
Oh, okay.
Smaller
Well,
ones.
That happened. Maybe they're successful. Maybe that's why.
Oh,
Got some money.
yeah,
Mm.
possibly.
Major.
Tessa,
Yeah.
I noticed that in some of your stuff in interviews this year,
Mm.
you're saying that you maybe have your own project you're working on.
I did. I wrote something. It's I wrote I have a very personal like short film that I wrote. My agent was kind of like, I don't know about
Like, listen, we're friends. Read this, will you?
yeah, like so I don't know, but I'm also like I'm very new to the world of being like my agent said anything. Like I've been doing like pure randomness for like 10 years with acting. Not, some good, it's all learning, but I'm used to going mega indie. Like not like indie darling, indie wire. Like indie like you film it and never see it. Or like do you know what I mean? So Going guerrilla style is my personal vibe. So we'll see what happens with it, but I
Okay.
guess I'm not in a rush to make it.
Okay.
But it's written. I mean, it's written. I play myself.
Nice.
So
There you go.
great. You know.
Okay,
But
you're not gonna let us see anything like that soon. That's not
no, but hopefully when the strike's over, you're gonna be seeing a lot of me. I know that.
Yes, the strike. I know. And you kind of took my next question, which was, how are you doing? You're okay for the strike? Everything's all right?
You know, like I hadn't had an agent for like the entire time I pursued acting. It's very hard to get. And then I finally acquired a team, which is I'm very excited about. And then like I was auditioning and then
For like a week.
for
and then
like
the
for like
strike
2
happened.
months.
Yeah.
But like really good. It's like but like it felt no,
It felt like
literally
a week.
For like 5 minutes.
The
like,
strike has been acting COVID.
like,
It's,
like no,
not
it
cool.
is. That's
Yeah.
it is.
Cool.
It is. It's the second pandemic.
It
It's
is.
literally. But you know what? We need to get paid, and it's like, so it's not ideal in terms of.
Look, can I be honest with you? I do
Yeah.
some production work. The film and TV stuff's really good in my bank account, and
Okay.
this strike had made me pretty angry at you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
However,
acting
but-
hasn't made me
Yeah,
much
actors,
money,
you
but
sons of
we'll
bitches.
see.
But you know what? I read the Hollywood Reporter stuff
Mm.
and like wiping out background for AI. and
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like
it's
that.
not. I mean,
Obviously, there needed to be some kind of negotiation because that shit was crazy.
and paying actors.
Yeah.
What doing acting is like the most intimate art form. Like it is such hard work, and it's just like it should be a no-brainer to pay actors.
I like how they were pretending that they couldn't tell what the views were on the internet.
Yeah,
and that's
I
why they
mean,
couldn't pay anybody
It's not
residuals.
just acting though. It's like the
was the
business
best part.
people do this stuff. People
Yeah.
get money hungry and
Yeah.
want to like be corrupt and
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time, but
Mhm.
pay us. You
Yeah.
know.
No,
So
I know.
hopefully that's the slide.
Also, we have to fight the computers.
Oh yeah,
totally
they're
have to
like
fight the computers,
ruining life. Like no, technology is ruining. I'm sorry, it is. Like
No,
it's
hey,
scary.
I'm
Like they're
becoming
gonna...
more of a Luddite. Unfortunately, my show's on the internet, but
No, I mean, unfortunately, look, I also am like addicted to Instagram. It's such this like
Right.
dual thing.
I
like,
know.
that can help, but things can help. It's like this goes all the way back to like Greek mythology. Like this. Who knows what's gonna happen with the tech? Yeah, I could go on a whole. I
It's
could
kind
go
of
on
like a
multiple
little
conspiracy-
Narcissus in the pond kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what my painting show is about.
totally.
Machines and man.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
That's what
Mhm.
we're saying on that.
For
Totally.
real.
Chiming in.
Major.
I like the
And
samba,
We got
by
to
the
see
way.
it in the studio.
We got to live it.
And
I-
her paintings are.
I got to help the internet destroy everybody's life. Liv,
Well,
Liv, I want to tell everybody a story about Liv here for a second.
Okay.
oh shit.
Liv was our first disgruntled customer here at WVFP.
Oh, she was the first episode?
No, she was the first
Oh,
person who
disgruntled
cavered
one.
on the show who was like, "This show sucks. You suck,"
Okay.
and
I mean,
and that's fine. She, you know what? Her feedback was honest.
it was.
It always
So-
is.
Yeah.
It
As the show,
always is.
Liv's a very honest person.
I am. I am.
As the show went on and more people liked it, it didn't mean anything to me because Liv didn't like it. So I was often, every now and then,
Yeah.
I would have too much to drink. I'm telling this to bare my soul. And last year on my birthday, I was literally in the bathroom, blackout, texting Liv, "Do you like me?" messages. Like,
I don't
would you-
remember.
I
that.
know you don't, because it was like a show. I text her, "Would you ever come on the show again? Or do you like fucking hate my show?" And she's like, "I would come on if it was smarter." That was my birthday. And I was like, well, now I can
did
go
see
have a
that.
good birthday. Like, she literally told me. I'm in the bathroom drunk. They're like, "What are you doing? Talking to some chick in there?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to get Liv to say she likes my show again."
Yeah.
That's all I cared about. I was just like, I want Liv to not
feel
hate
that
the
way
show.
Yeah.
Her approval.
I'm
means
a
Yeah.
very
doing it
harsh.
right.
You guys all
critic.
seek Liv's approval like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a very harsh critic.
She's
I-
not gonna sugarcoat shit.
There's a little bit of a professor thing that comes off. Liv.
Oh my god! I've
Like,
always wanted.
she-
I always wanted
Is
to
it-
I
impress
could see you
her.
doing that.
No, aren't you literally probably, academics doesn't seem like too far outside the wheelhouse.
I taught the Cooper Saturday program and I loved doing that. I thought
Yeah.
that was like so amazing. And for a long time, I was like, oh, I want to go be like when my parents would be like, what the fuck are you doing with your art degree?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go teach art. I would just be like, I'm going to go teach. And I did think I was going to do that. And then I applied to grad school. And then the pandemic hit while I was like interviewing and stuff. And I was like, maybe this can wait. And then everything else happened, and now I'm like, well, why go to grad school?
This is a great, wait, this is a great story. So you were gonna go to grad school.
I was, yeah, I applied.
Wow. What a
Wait, when did you apply?
travesty
Yeah, wait,
that
I'm
would have
like
been.
2020.
I didn't-
I
What a
applied.
disaster.
I'm like,
I applied in
didn't know that.
2019, like right after I graduated college.
Wow.
Like the first year I graduated, and I was working for Anoka and everything.
So glad that didn't happen.
I'm glad it didn't happen
Yeah.
too.
Me
'Cause it would not
too.
have been the right thing for me. It was like not right. Like I actually do think when you're undergrad, everyone's like, go to grad school immediately. And actually I think that's really bad advice. I
Yeah.
think like you need a couple years to like really figure your shit out and figure out what you want. And
You also
yeah,
just
and
shouldn't start college till you're like 25.
I
In
agree
my
with
opinion,
that.
For
I agree.
undergrad,
You
I
need
think
time
it's
to like learn what
A lot
Bonkers.
of graduate programs don't want you to be right out of your undergrad.
yeah.
Yeah, and you also need to like learn what it's like to be in the world and all this stuff. So anyway, so I applied and I was on my way home from an interview actually, and everyone was like losing their jobs, and it was like the
Right.
whole world. It was like that day when the whole world shut down. It was like
Mhm.
March 17th,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, I still have this like great job that I got right. Like I'd gotten this wonderful job with Peter Halley, and I was like, well, I still have this job, whatever. And then I got laid off like the next week, but I rescinded my application in that week because I was like, but it was fine because I was like, oh, the world's shutting down. I don't want to go to grad school anyway.
Yeah.
Even though I
Mhm.
lost my job, I was like, this is just like not the right time.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
clearly, yeah. for
And
everyone.
I'm so glad it worked out the way it did. Like I'm very happy about it.
Yeah. And then you had all this time because of the pandemic to like redouble your efforts in the other way.
Yeah, and just do everything. I mean, I was like trying to fire on all cylinders. I was like, maybe I do go to grad school again. Maybe I go out and try and go to openings. Maybe I try and make the work as strong as it possibly can be without grad school. Like all of the stuff you want to do.
You
I just
did.
was like, I need to do it, all of it. Like I can go the academic route, you can go the downtown route. I was like, I'm gonna fucking do both until something works, and it did.
That's amazing. And you recently, now you're represented out there.
I am. I'm represented out in LA by Chateau Chateau. I love Harrison and Liv. I really love their program. I like truly mean that. And they're so smart and it's funny because they're very academic and I was very like, do I do academia? Do I not? But I feel like I'm at a very like academically smarty gallery and
right.
and they just add a lot to the work. Like they're always like, have you read this book? Like blah, blah, blah. Like, and we have really interesting in-depth conversations about the work. And so I feel extremely lucky. I feel like the luckiest girl in Brooklyn, as I've said before and will say continually.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have a big show with them out in February.
Is it in February? Okay, it's in February?
It's in February during Freeze LA.
Awesome.
And then we're doing a solo booth for Basel, Hong Kong. And then I might do some residencies after that.
Oh, wow. It's
Figure
going to be a
things
busy
out.
year next year.
Very busy year, busy year. Got some press coming up, got some really exciting stuff coming up that I'm very, very excited about. And I tell my ladies all the time how I would just be absolutely nowhere without them.
Oh,
or
that's
most of my
sweet.
friends. I'd be just absolutely nowhere without them.
That is so sweet.
It takes really a village, and it takes like a lot of, community around you. That's
Yeah.
something I learned when I graduated college. I went and like moved away to West Haven, Connecticut, and I like lived on the beach and I worked for
Nice.
this Yale professor, but I like was so isolated, and it's like you need community around you, like majorly.
Yeah. Well, you hit it big. You're like wildly successful now. And you can pull the academic parachute whenever you want.
It's
Totally.
Well, thank you all so much for coming.
Thanks
I
for
really
Yes, thank you for
appreciate
having
you
us.
giving our show a try. I really appreciate you two coming back again. You guys, Liv, you were in the original invitees because at the time I was like, I got to get the best painters on the show. We're huge fans of yours. And
Thank you. And you really did a lot better this time.
thank you very
You
much.
did. I'm so much more impressed.
Yeah.
Madeline Bach, Frosted Hag, and the whole crew, thank you very much, everybody.
That was sick.
That was fun.
Slay.
Yeah, that was
Show
fun.
of my
You,
life.
you really,
Thank you
really did
so
a
much
lot.
for
A lot.
my
I'm
first
shocked.
pod.
Thank you.
I'm shook.
That was
Yeah.
super fun.
I'm amazed, y'all.
I'm shooketh.
Even Marika's wasn't that great before.
I loved my episode.
I enjoyed that one.
I know.
Everyone listened to it. It was so sweet.
My parents listened to the first one and they were like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so mean?"
You know,
It's like
Did they
because
listen
of
to
you
it?
guys. So
a lot of
How
people
about
haven't
that?
heard it.
No one watched it except them, honestly.
Well, we all did ourselves a
I
favor and
were
hid it
able
away.
to, our podcast episode, you know, they tell.
We're not on anymore, so you know you can say whatever you want. But you know that episode is hilarious, and if you guys have never heard Liv originally on
really
the show,
funny.
she tells me she like tells me to shut up once. She says once like she stops me from talking. She's like, "Hey, what am I doing here?" And we're like, "What?" She goes, "Why am I here?" And we're
I feel like we heard about this. Yeah, we did.
It was wonderful.
We
It's a
did. I'm like, I
classic
feel like
television.
we
Beautiful.
You did.
I think I did listen.
Well, I really
I'm gonna
appreciate
listen
it.
again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
so
coming out
much.
really soon.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Let us know.
there'll be all the cakes and stuff.
Major
Yeah.
cake.
Did I sound like a bitch?
No, you sounded amazing.
Okay.
You're
so
I sound like a hang. I'm like,
I shouldn't have like hit Marika's vape like 3 times. I'm like acting Greek mythology. It's like a perfect example. No, that literally are my voice notes.
I mean,
it's
I
a
like-
perfect example.
I feel like